festival or something. It wasn't like a big production company. It was like
It wasn't a big, I don't necessarily need you to know that on the exam is concerned. But yeah, that's the trick with Death of a President. And it is actually legal, but the other piece to this is it was made by somebody that was out of the country, and y'all said that it was Britain. Go ahead, touch the house, Willie. Pick me a category. Y'all are getting closer. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 65, 70.
Are you serious?
Wow. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. 75 to 70. Go.
Oh, we want legislator for 4.
Legislature for 4. Click it, Willie. Schedule of elections in presidential and parliamentary systems. Y'all have it. Y'all have it next.
So for the elections in presidential system, I'm assuming it means in America.
Yeah.
It's every 4 years. And
When?
What?
When?
It's the first Tuesday after the second Monday in November.
It's always in November.
-4. Go ahead.
Wait, no, we had more to say.
No.
Third Wednesday.
It's the first Tuesday after the first Monday.
First Tuesday after the first Monday in November every 4 years. Not the second. That's a big deal.
Set date every 4
It's a set date, actually. It is. 1, 2, 3, 4 every 4 years. Parliamentary system.
The parliamentary system, they can call for an election at any time.
And what's the benefit of that?
They can get people they don't like out sooner.
If someone's policy is slipping, like the prime minister, if their support from their party is slipping, they can elect someone that's stronger and
Oh, come
get the
on.
will of the
You buying this, Willie?
-4?
Willie says no. -4. Go ahead, Nolan.
Basically, it means that if your popularity is slipping, you can call for it earlier before it slips too low.
Yeah, actually, that's the idea on this. 1, 2, 3, 4. In theory, you can call the election when it's most going to benefit you. So you can call it when your popularity is at the highest. You can call it before your popularity falls too far. Any idea what the typical term of a prime minister is? 7 years is not a crazy thing. It can go up to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 years. Sometimes they're 6, sometimes they're 5, but you can call the election any time within that term. And like you said, when it would most benefit you. You gave me the last correct answer. Touch the house, Willie. Go ahead, pick me one.
Constitution for 3.
Constitution for 3. Constitutions in Brazil, the United States, and Britain. Go ahead, Jordy.
So in Brazil, it's large. It's like multiple pages long.
1, 2, 3. Brazil has one of the longest constitutions in the world.
The U.S. Constitution, the Article 1 is very, very long, and then after that, the articles start.
That's true, but that's not what I'm looking for. Tell me something about the U.S. 5. Or Britain.
Was it like in the U.S. it was really simple?
Zoom in on Sean. Go get it. Zoom in.
It was like in Brazil. It was like too much stuff in the. It was like constantly everything was being questioned and
Yeah.
controversy over. Like it wasn't just like this. There wasn't. Everything was like. What am I trying to say?
So how does that relate to the American one? Anybody
the
in the
American
group? You
one's
got
very
it.
simplified and it's just like black and white. It just has.
The U.S. Constitution is based on the King of Britain. It's against the King of Britain.
I think I gotta say -3 on that one. Yeah, I gotta go -3 on that one. Go ahead, Frank's group.
Well, the U.S. Okay, the Great Britain one doesn't have a written constitution.
Great Britain Constitution 1, 2, 3 is completely unwritten. It comes from laws, it comes from court cases, it comes from traditions. And the U.S. Constitution.
Don't they have a Bill of Rights in Britain?
We haven't talked about that, so let's not worry about that. But tell me about the American Constitution, because we're running out of time.
The American Constitution has more vague. The beginning of it, the Bill of Rights has more vague rules about it, and then
Yeah.
it's clarifying.
Yeah. Go ahead, click it, Willie. Go ahead.
Isn't it that you can add things to
The U.S. is actually one of the shortest written constitutions in the world. If Brazil,
You said 25 pages, right?
Oh wow.
For the U.S.
maybe, but I'm not going to test you on that. Go ahead, pick me a category. Touch the house.
4 points for legislature.
Go ahead, click it. Yeah, I think we did this one. Touch the house, Willie. Okay, go ahead, pick another one.
3 for Constitution.
3 for constitutions. Go ahead, click it. Death of President. Wow, Willie, what's going on? Go ahead, pick me another one. We're going to get one that Willie's got right.
3 articles.
Oh, there's, okay, click it. Age, wealth, and race. Go ahead, your hand went up first.
Give me something.
5,
Oh,
Oh, this is how they wanted to organize the Senate rather than.
It is. Well, actually, there was a discussion, 1, 2, 3, about how they could actually reorganize the Senate. What was the idea?
They thought that it would be less, they thought it would be for all the different ones. Like for age, it would be people would represent individuals better.
Yeah,
Like,
better
that's-
representation of the country itself, and not just a bunch of millionaires. The millionaires club is what the Senate is considered.
The Senate is typically referred to as the Millionaires Club, 1, 2, 3. And as far as age is concerned, if you remember on this, they wanted to set up the demographics so that there were people ranging from as young as 18 all the way up, well, obviously beyond that. Go ahead.
The problem with that is that there's an age limit for the Senate, so those people can.
Those people!
The younger people couldn't be represented in the Senate. Because
Yeah, it would already be breaking the law in that regard. What about the, go ahead.
Same thing for the wealth. Like people who had like no income to below 100,000. Once they got into the Senate, they'd be making more than they had to.
They would be making more and they would already be disqualified out. Of course, the argument with the Millionaires Club is if we have so many millionaires, there are middle class and lower middle class and poverty people that are in fact not getting any representation at all. So the thought is that if we put more people in office that made money that kind of reflected the country, it would be better representation. If we put more people in office that reflected age, then we would have better representation. What was the biggest problem with the way that the Senate is now beyond the Millionaires Club? Because there was a statistic that I gave y'all.
10 states have the biggest population, are represented the same as the other 40 states.
Yeah, it basically is saying in there that 10 states have half of the population, 1, 2, 3, and the other 40 states basically represent the other half of the population, 1, 2, 3, and this is just an incredible misapportionment, malapportionment, if you will, of the legislative seats. 70, 75, 80, 87, 87 to 79 to 28. Pick me a category. And I think Willie's got it right.
Congress for 2.
Congress for 2. Oh, I spoke too soon. John Quincy Adams, first-hand IC from the Congress trip. Go ahead.
This is the one with the painting.
Well, I thought we get to go first since we picked, and then
No,
they
no.
come after us.
When there's a name that comes up, first-hand IC, and I even said first-hand IC, if it's list all you can, you automatically get it.
This is the one with the painting where it's thought that either John Quincy Adams and
There's another thing with John Quincy Adams, though, not the painting.
He's the second president.
Nope.
-2.
6.
6 hours.
John Quincy, go ahead.
When he signed the Constitution, he has his name as the biggest.
-2. That's John Hancock. Anybody else?
I guess.
John Quincy Adams is the one president who actually, when he was done with the presidency, went and served in the House of Representatives. And he had a plaque on the floor. And this was the whispering spot where John Quincy Adams would feign being asleep and he would hear everything that was said on the other side because of the ricochet off the dome. And nobody could understand why he would always get up and be prepared to address their points because he heard them because of that specific spot. Click it, Willie. And you get the idea. Sat at the whisper spot in the old house or statuary hall, fake being asleep, and he played the old man role to a hilt on this. He could hear the other side's argument and answered them eloquently. Nobody knew how he did it because he appeared to be sleeping. Touch the house, Willie. Pick me a category.
Articles too?
Yeah.
Articles for 2. Crack-addicted babies.
Oh, so this was when that lady.
What was her name? 5. Barbara. 4. Barbara H. 3. 2. Barbara H.
Can we give you something else?
No, I need her name. 1. Go.
Barbara Harris.
It was Barbara Harris. Oh my God, Kevin got those 2 back from John Quincy Adams. What was it that Barbara Harris did?
She would drive
Okay,
around
that is not fair.
Yeah, we can give you
That's
other
not fair
facts
at all.
about
Well,
the
I need you to
situation.
lay this out for me in an essay, so tell me the story.
She would have people having babies
Yeah.
who were like addicted to like crack or drugs, so she would drive around in a van and
Where was this, by the way?
Alabama.
5.
Alabama.
4.
Wait,
3. Where was
South
this?
Carolina.
-2.
Oh, it's Alabama, right?
-4. Not Oklahoma, -2. Where was it? Charlotte, North Carolina. Shame. You know, I should take away more because when you compare North Carolina and South Carolina. No. Coming back to this. First hand I see.
Wait, what?
I gotta ask the question first.
Oh.
First hand I see after I ask the question. How much did she pay him? Go ahead.
$200.
She did. She paid him $200 to do what?
Nice.
To get, well.
5.
Sterilized, yeah.
Sterilized or
Or castrated?
-2. Go ahead, Frank's group.
Sterilized or.
I saw your hand, I think, right?
Long-term birth.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. You ready?
Yeah, or I think it was take medicine to not.
I know.
We know. We
Take
know.
medicine to not circle.
Babies.
Take medicine to not have. Okay, now that makes sense. But there's something a little bit more to it.
Listen, Dory's.
5, 4,
Know this.
3,
Come on, we know.
2. You buying that, Willie? Willie's not really awake. I'm not sure what's going on. Zoom in on Willie. Go ahead, y'all have it back.
Not mine.
Say what?
Take long.
Long-term birth control. So Barbara Harris would drive around in a van.
Point up there.
It's 4. It's 4. I know it's 4. Barbara Harris would drive around in rural North Carolina, outside of Charlotte, basically, and she would talk to women who she considered dangerous to be crack addicted or to provide crack addicted babies. And she would encourage long-term birth control or sterilization. What was the benefit? What was the problem? Anything you can say. Y'all have it.
Problem of what?
Of what she was doing. 4.
Oh, she was focusing on inner city kids that were mainly
30% was African American.
She actually had a disproportionate number of African American women that she was working with. And it was about twice what the regular population was. So there were questions that she was racist. What else though? 4.
She adopted 4 kids.
What's that?
4 African American kids.
She did actually adopt these 4 kids, and that would seem to suggest that she wasn't racist at all. Keep going.
Were people concerned that they might not really know what they were signing when they got
Here's the thing. If they were crack addicted, they were probably signing papers with the idea in mind to get money to buy more drugs, and they're not thinking with their head, they're thinking with their thirst. That kind of a thing. Anything else you can tell me? 4.
she got money from mainly conservative
She did. She got an awful lot of money and support from conservative donors. Anything else? 3.
250,000 for one donor. I remember that.
Okay, I don't need that. I need other facts about Barbara Harris. 2, 1, out. Barbara Harris on this one. She actually, no, I've already jumped around the room. Barbara Harris on this one, she actually would go around and she got criticized because this was potentially racist. She got criticized. She compared this, I believe, to spaying dogs when they were having too many puppies. Her thought process was that I cannot deal with the drug addiction because people are going to backslide. But if you're on long-term birth control or if you're sterilized, you're not going to have crack-addicted babies. And one of my other classes had said that she was like the Batman of crack babies or the Batwoman of crack babies because her goal was to prevent the crack babies, and that's what she was doing. The drugs were not her issue. They could spend the money, they could do what they wanted with her body. Do you remember about abortions and adoptions and things like this? Look up that statistic because her average client had X number of abortions and X number of children in the child care, the foster care system, which ultimately meant that it would cost taxpayers money. 87, 26. If y'all will give me plus 12, if y'all will give me plus 12, if y'all will give me plus 6,
What?
of what?
if you will go plus 10, and if you will go plus 10, sign your names with those point values. You can stop filming. I'll add